Sector 1 fire. So go ahead. I'm on scene at 108 South 17. We've got light smoke showing from a single-story commercial building. Working fire, make it a regular alarm. Engine 1 upon arrival. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if there's an FBC in the back before we do anything here. That's hard. I'll be establishing 17th Street Second Command.
I need more than just words to say. I need everything this life can give me. Hey, yeah. 'Cause sometimes it's not enough. Ow! Come on, baby. Close your eyes.
Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Jim here over at Justifiably Proud Productions. I hope everybody's doing well. Today is a Saturday, beautiful Saturday morning here in South Texas, and I'm coming off of a little bit of a long vacation, and I'm excited to get everything rocking and rolling back with the channel. I got Dolly sitting next to me right here. We didn't take her on vacation this year, and she wasn't too happy about it, but we've since been able to spend some time with her and get her back up to where the sweet pup that she needs to be. But yeah, she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy that we were gone for a long time. We spent some time out in one of the state parks, and it was really enjoyable. Had a really good time. We were there with some friends. And anyway, as the summer wraps up, we're kind of hoping that the weather changes. It's been super hot, where I'm probably sure everybody's been having their challenges with weather. But of course, in August usually is when I start to see the high clouds start happening, and then the seasons change. And I really enjoy the seasons changing, even though we really don't have 4 seasons down here in South Texas. There's definitely a difference as we progress throughout the year. It's kind of like, during the spring and summer, you see a lot of people fishing, or I guess all year long, but then in the wintertime, you go into hunting for deer and things like that. And we kind of do have a sportsman's type area down here. But anyway, today I wanted to visit a little bit about dealing with some of the challenges we have in the fire service, and we get, our cities and our municipalities and our departments bless us with a lot of great benefits, and sometimes we utilize these benefits because they're given to us, but then sometimes you run into a challenge where, man, I've got all this excess stuff I need to get rid of when it comes close to retirement. And let me just share a quick story with you about it. Today I'm going to talk about sick leave. And so in my department, you're able to accumulate sick leave each month, and it adds up over time. And of course, you use it for bona fide sick emergency. And some of the challenges that happen is we're blessed with so much sick leave and vacation time and all that kind of stuff. And then you get to a point in your career where, if you've been a good employee and you've utilized very little of that time, you come to a point where you have an excess amount of leave. And we're also fortunate to where when we leave, we're allowed to sell back so many hours of sick leave and vacation time and stuff like that. So, you're going along in your career, and you have children, and you miss, 72 hours of work because you're going to spend some time bonding with your child. Or you have a procedure done where you need to take some sick leave. And I know it sounds like you should be able to kind of burn through that stuff really quick. Well, if you've suited up and showed up your entire career, you can find yourself with an excess amount of sick leave on the books. And it's a serious deal. You end up having, let's say you can sell back 1,400 hours of sick leave when you retire, and you look at your hours and you're like, and you've used the sick leave accordingly. And man, next thing you know, you've got 4,000 hours of sick leave and you're towards the end of your career. Now, the thing to do is just retire and cash in your hours and maybe give back the rest back to the city or whatever. The other thing we can do in our city is we're able to, if somebody's having challenges like a severe illness, we can share, we can give them hours. There's a certain procedure that can be done, but if somebody's really struggling with let's say somebody gets an unfortunate illness and they need some sick leave hours, we can share that. But one of the things that I've noticed with sick leave throughout the years, there's a story that I kind of want to share with our listeners today that may resonate with you and hit home. Like I mentioned earlier, that there's fishing season in the spring and summer, and then of course hunting season in the winter. So I'm going to take a step back here, and I'm going to go back to when I was a company officer, and I was a relatively new company officer. I guess I had been a lieutenant already for a while because we were at our new station. And the lieutenant's responsibility there at the station in the mornings is typically to handle sick calls. And so an individual calls in with his ailment or illness, and you just basically you write their name on the board. And one of the things you need to know is how long is it going to be? Is it going to be 2 hours? Is it going to be 10 hours? Is it going to be 24 hours? And you write down the name on the board, and then as more individuals call in, because remember, you've already got people who are scheduled to be on vacation leave, and now you've got people dealing with sick leave. Well, if you're like our department, I don't know how it is with PD and EMS, but we have minimum staffing requirements for our units. And so I had a lot of experience of taking sick calls, but I had never experienced this particular type of call. And it's one of those where sometimes we may take ourselves too seriously, and sometimes we may just just not know how to deal with certain situations. And so it was, I don't know, it was probably before 7:00, because this employee was a top-notch employee. I mean, he was a driver at the airport, been there for a long time. He was one of our top mechanics. I think he was hired in the late 70s. Great firefighter, just a wonderful firefighter. And when he called in, I answered the phone, hey, Central Fire Station, Farrell speaking. How can I help you? And on the other line, I heard such quietness. And he came across the line. He said, "Hey, Jimbo." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "This is Ken too." "Yes, sir." He said, I'm calling in sick. And I said, okay. And so, this was a gentleman who was near the end of his career, getting ready to wrap it up. Of course, we don't know what everybody's individual sick leave balances are. But, this guy had a long, wonderful career, very productive, very prosperous, definitely a leader. Even though he was a driver, he was definitely a leader on his truck. And I was concerned, hey, is everything okay? Is what I asked him, and he said, yeah, everything's good. And so my next question was, is it going to be 24 hours? And I'm sitting there on the line, and you're starting to hear people now. People are getting up out of their racks, and they're starting to do station chores and all that. So there's some scuttle going on in the background, and I can hear noises and trash being taken out, mop buckets being filled. And when I asked him, is it going to be 24 hours? He said, hold on. Now remember, this is a November day. Weather's changed. I think it was November, maybe early December. Much cooler weather out there. Definitely was a season for outdoor activities like hunting and things like that. And so I said, hey, is it going to be 24 hours? And he said, hold on. And then at that moment, I just heard this god-awful, just horrible, blow my eardrum out. Boom! And as Cantu got back on the phone, he said, oh yeah, it's going to be 24. And that's when I realized that sick leave abuse was in full effect. Obviously, he had shot a buck and was going to take the rest of the day off. So I just wanted to share a little lighthearted story about, not taking ourselves too seriously and, understanding that it's not the stuff. It's not a lot of times. It's not the stuff that we haven't done. It's the stuff that we've done, and that's just a little funny story that I wanted to share. And talking a little bit about the benefits that we get and how firemen can typically use them and abuse them to some extent. But I hope you enjoyed that little story. We're having a little fun here on a Saturday morning to get back in the swing of things. But remember, seriously though, we get these benefits. They're meant to be used appropriately. But that was a funny story that I thought I'd share with everybody about what kind of goes on. It's one of those same circus, different clown stories again. Anyway, y'all have a great week, great time. We're going to continue pumping out here and get some stuff going. I hope everybody stays cool, and we'll see you on the flip side here at Justifiably Proud Productions.